Hi, my name is Dave Ives. What we're going to do today is look through the short presentation and how to use it effectively. You know, Zinzino provides all of us an incredible tool range that, when used effectively, can get success faster. And the goal here is the short presentation is really designed to expose your connections, whether they're interested in their health, the products that we offer, or the opportunity. And so I'm going to strongly advise that as you're getting started, let's remove the overwhelm and maybe the pressure that you may feel that you need to know it all. The great thing about the tool of the short presentation, you can do it a number of ways. You can do it on a one-on-one, you can do it on a two-on-one, you can do that both live or online. And my recommendation really is in the very beginning, particularly for your fast start period, doing them as a two-on-one, meaning that you're going to utilize maybe your sponsor. And if they are new, maybe that team that's supporting them, they can support you. And there's so many advantages and benefits from doing that. One, you're going to learn faster because you're going to bring a third party in. And the great thing about what we do in Zinzino and the team that you're working with is we're going to use the corporate tools, but you're going to use the experience of others while you're gaining your experience, while you're creating your story. And that's the best way to learn. Why? At that time, you're more enthusiastic than you ever know because you know nothing. You're excited. And that's one of the things that we learn to transfer to your prospect. But the thing that you have that we want is your connections. The thing that you need and you'll learn over time is experience. So why don't we combine those together? And through that short presentation, we can prepare ourselves on a lot of things. We can set up the environment. And the great thing about your sponsor and the team is that they will show you how to introduce what's expected of you to create the right environment. But there's some key elements here, and importantly, 5 steps to be successful utilizing that short presentation. And you can find these in your Express Starts, page 130 to 134. I want to touch on a few of those 5 steps. The first important thing is building a relationship. Now, you have a relationship with some of your connections, but that third party doesn't. So it's going to be really important on how you introduce that third party. And don't worry, they're going to show you and give you the words so you can introduce professionally. Why? Again, like your enthusiasm that you're going to transfer to your prospect, we also need to transfer that credibility to someone they don't know. But when you pass your credibility on, that builds trust. And as we build trust, we can then start to build a relationship and we can start sharing stories. And one of the key components of the 5 steps is asking good questions. Because if we can find more about them, who they are, what they're looking for, where are they right now and where do they want to be, then Zinzino can be the opportunity to help them achieve that. If we go straight into a presentation without finding a need, then we're just presenting. But when we find a need, we start sharing. So as we share and we build that rapport and we build that trust, then we can most definitely help them with anything they want to achieve in life. This is an incredible opportunity. But when we follow that framework of those 5 steps, build a rapport, build a relationship, and transferring that energy and that excitement, and then making sure that you set up a second meeting. Because very few people actually make a decision on the first viewing. And so be prepared for that. And the other great exciting news about being prepared for them not making a decision immediately is that it relaxes you because we're now into sharing and not selling. Now, don't get me wrong, there's going to be people that will see what you have to offer and want to join you immediately. But don't expect that every time. Your goal is purely to find a need and use the skill of a third-party element. So once you've done that, then you can make sure you book a second meeting. You've done the hard work. You've connected with people. You've introduced that sponsor, that team of support. You've found a need. You've transferred that energy. Don't leave the most important part out, setting up the follow-up. Always book a meeting from a meeting. They call that BAM-FAM. Book a meeting from a meeting. Why? Because you're going to want to get back with them. You want to answer their questions. When they're exposed for the very first time, they will see what you're offering. But when they go away, they like to think about it. They may like to really give it serious consideration. So always do the right thing. Book a meeting from a meeting. So we've looked at the 5 steps of the short presentation and, of course, encouraging you to make sure you utilize the Express Start. But there's things that you and I can do together to prepare ourselves to have a successful short presentation. One, in preparation, Many people joining Zinzino today have never been in this industry. So they're not expected to know what to do. And that's why working with a sponsor and your team of support, they're going to be able to help you prepare how to introduce effectively so you can transfer that credibility. They're going to give you the words and show you, and even to a degree, maybe role play before the very first meeting. But excitingly, beyond that, after you've had that meeting, they're going to spend some time with you and maybe give you some feedback of how we can improve so we can get better as we progress, showing the opportunity. So preparation is key. And in that preparation, one of the most important elements is your story, why you got involved. Well, yes, you're going to use a third party to bring in the experience and the knowledge, but deep down, the connection that you have with someone else, they're going to want to know, why have you been moved? Why have you been excited? Because maybe they could relate to that. And so making sure that you create your own story, and there's again many great guidelines and tips how to do that in your Express Start in 139. So make sure you spend some time there creating your story, because if you don't have yours, you don't have your why and dream, how can we ask people about theirs? So work on ourselves first, and that way we can attract people and we can get them to start sharing amongst us. Now, importantly, once we've gone through that, the preparation is in place. But the key here is you've done everything right. You've done the hard bit. The follow-up is the key. The follow-up is where you'll be able to take people to the next step. And that is booking a second meeting, where maybe it's to a local presentation, maybe online or offline, getting them to a hotel environment or a home environment where there's social evidence beyond you and that third party. See, the great thing about putting people through a process, starting with a short presentation, every time you take them to the next level, they see more people, they see social connections, and they see social evidence. So short presentations are a great way to build your businesses.